Millions of homeowners buy fertilizers every season, hoping for thicker, greener grass. Weeks later, many are left wondering why their lawn barely looks any different. What if the real problem isn't a lack of fertilizer at all? What if common $2 kitchen powder can help your lawn use nutrients more effectively without wasting money on products it may not even need? The science behind it is surprisingly simple, yet most people never hear about it. Before we explain how it works, tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and subscribe for practical lawn care tips backed by real science. First, let's uncover why fertilizer often treats the symptom instead of the real problem. Most homeowners believe one simple idea: if the lawn looks weak, add more fertilizer. It sounds logical because fertilizer contains the nutrients grass needs to grow. The problem is that healthy growth depends on more than adding nutrients to the soil. Imagine filling your refrigerator with fresh food while the door stays locked. The food is there, but nobody can reach it. The same thing can happen beneath your lawn. Many yards already contain important nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Even after another application of fertilizer, the grass may still struggle because those nutrients aren't always available for the roots to absorb. Lawn professionals call this nutrient lockout, but the idea is much simpler than the name suggests. Everything depends on the condition of the soil. When the soil becomes too acidic or too alkaline, certain nutrients become difficult for grass to use. They remain in the ground, yet the roots can't access them efficiently. Homeowners often mistake this for a fertilizer shortage, so they buy another bag, spread it across the yard, and wait for results that never fully arrive. That cycle becomes surprisingly expensive. Each season brings another purchase, another weekend of spreading fertilizer, another month of hoping the lawn finally turns deep green. Sometimes the improvement is small, sometimes nothing changes at all. After a while, many people assume they simply need an even stronger product. The real answer usually lies somewhere else. Instead of adding more nutrients, experienced lawn managers first ask a different question: can the grass actually use the nutrients that are already there? Solving that problem often produces better results than continuously adding more fertilizer. That's where today's kitchen powder enters the picture. It doesn't replace good lawn care, and it isn't a miracle shortcut. Its job is much more important. Under the right conditions, it helps create an environment where your lawn can make better use of the nutrients already present in the soil. Once that happens, healthy growth becomes much easier to achieve without constantly chasing the next expensive fertilizer. Now that you know why fertilizer sometimes disappoints, it's time to reveal the inexpensive kitchen powder behind this approach and the simple science that explains why it works. So, what is this inexpensive kitchen powder? It's baking soda, also known as sodium bicarbonate. Most people recognize it from baking recipes or refrigerator odor control. Very few realize it can also influence the condition of certain lawns when used in the right situation. Here's why that matters. Grass doesn't automatically absorb every nutrient sitting in the soil. The roots depend on the surrounding environment to unlock those nutrients. When the soil becomes overly acidic, some essential minerals become less available, making healthy growth more difficult even after fresh fertilizer has been applied. That's where baking soda enters the conversation. Because baking soda is naturally alkaline, it can temporarily reduce acidity on the soil surface. In lawns with mildly acidic conditions, that shift may help create a friendlier environment for nutrient availability. Instead of continuously adding more fertilizer, you're addressing one of the reasons your grass may not be making full use of the nutrients already present. Think of it this way: adding fertilizer fills the pantry. Improving soil conditions helps unlock the pantry door. Both matter, but one becomes far more effective when the other is already working properly. Professional lawn managers understand this principle well. They don't judge a lawn by color alone. They look at soil condition, nutrient availability, watering habits, mowing practices, and root health before deciding what the lawn actually needs. Healthy grass is rarely the result of a single product. It's usually the result of several conditions working together. That also explains why this isn't a miracle cure. Baking soda won't repair damaged soil overnight, replace proper watering, or solve every lawn problem by itself. Its value comes from supporting healthier growing conditions in situations where soil balance is part of the issue. Used with realistic expectations, it can become one useful tool within a complete lawn care routine rather than a replacement for every other practice. Understanding fast essence is only the first step. The biggest improvements come from applying the right amount at the right time. In the next section, you'll learn exactly how to use this kitchen powder correctly and the small mistakes that can limit its effectiveness before it even has a chance to work. If you decide to try this method, using the right amount matters far more than using more of it. Many homeowners assume a heavier application will produce faster results. In lawn care, that approach often creates new problems instead of better grass. Start with a light application. Measure 1 cup of baking soda and spread it as evenly as possible over the area you plan to treat. Don't dump it into one spot or leave thick patches across the lawn. A thin, consistent layer gives you much better control than applying large amounts all at once. Dry weather makes the process easier. Choose a calm day with little or no wind so the powder stays where you place it. Avoid applying it just before heavy rain because water can wash it away before it has time to interact with the soil surface. Timing also affects the outcome. Early morning or late afternoon usually provides better conditions than the hottest part of the day. Cooler temperatures reduce stress on the grass while giving you enough time to work carefully across the lawn. Patience is just as important. Don't expect dramatic changes overnight. Soil conditions change gradually, and healthy grass responds over time rather than within a few hours. Continue following normal mowing and watering habits while watching for improvements during the following weeks instead of the next morning. Resist the temptation to repeat the treatment immediately. Applying more powder simply because you don't see instant results isn't the answer. Give the lawn enough time to respond before deciding whether additional action is necessary. Rushing the process often leads to disappointment because healthy turf develops through steady improvement, not sudden transformation. Remember that this method works best as one part of a complete lawn care routine. Proper mowing, deep watering, adequate sunlight, and healthy soil all work together. No single product, whether it's sold in a garden center or found in your kitchen, can compensate for neglected lawn care habits. Even when the application is done correctly, this method isn't the right choice for every lawn. The next section explains where it may help, where it falls short, and why understanding that difference can save both time and money. By now, you probably have one important question. If this kitchen powder works so well, why isn't everyone using it instead of buying expensive lawn products? The answer is surprisingly simple. No single lawn treatment works equally well in every yard. The condition of your soil, your local climate, the type of grass you grow, and the problems affecting your lawn all influence the final result. That's why experienced homeowners focus on matching the solution to the situation instead of expecting one product to solve everything. This method performs best on lawns with mildly acidic soil. When the soil isn't extremely out of balance, small adjustments can sometimes improve growing conditions enough for grass to respond more effectively. Lawns that receive regular sunlight, proper watering, and routine mowing are also far more likely to show noticeable improvement because the grass already has the basics it needs to thrive. Healthy habits multiply good results. A lawn that's watered deeply, cut at the proper height, and free from heavy foot traffic recovers much faster than one that's constantly under stress. Think of this kitchen powder as a supporting tool rather than the entire solution. It works alongside good lawn care practices instead of replacing them. There are situations where expectations should stay realistic. If your lawn has severe nutrient deficiencies, compacted soil, heavy shade, insect damage, or widespread disease, this approach alone won't solve those underlying problems. Those conditions usually require additional care before any noticeable improvement appears. Knowing the difference saves both time and money. Instead of applying product after product hoping something eventually works, you can identify the actual cause of poor growth and choose the treatment that fits your lawn's condition. That approach is exactly how professionals avoid wasting both effort and expensive materials. One more factor deserves attention. Results rarely appear overnight. Some homeowners notice gradual improvement within a couple of weeks, while others need more time depending on weather, soil conditions, and the overall health of the lawn. Patience often produces better outcomes than constantly changing treatments. Even the right product can disappoint when it's used the wrong way. In the next section, you'll discover the common mistakes that quietly reduce results and how to avoid every one of them. Using the right product is only half the job. The biggest disappointments usually happen because of simple mistakes that seem harmless at first, but quietly reduce the results before your lawn has a chance to improve. The first mistake is using too much. Many homeowners believe a larger amount will produce greener grass faster. Lawn care doesn't work that way. Applying more than recommended can place unnecessary stress on the lawn instead of helping it. Following the correct amount is almost always more effective than assuming extra product means extra results. Another mistake happens before the treatment even begins. Applying the powder just before heavy rain can wash much of it away before it has time to do its job. On the other hand, extremely hot, windy afternoons make even coverage difficult and can increase stress on already struggling grass. Choosing calm, dry weather gives the treatment a much better opportunity to work as intended. Watering habits also make a difference. Some people water immediately because they think it helps the powder soak into the ground faster. Others avoid watering for far longer than necessary. Following a consistent lawn care routine instead of making sudden changes usually produces more reliable results over time. One detail is often overlooked completely. Soil conditions vary from one yard to another. What works well in one neighborhood may produce very different results a few streets away. That's why experienced lawn professionals rely on observation instead of assumptions. If your lawn continues struggling after repeated treatments, a simple soil test often provides more useful answers than buying another product. Patience separates successful homeowners from frustrated ones. Grass doesn't transform overnight. Healthy roots, stronger growth, and richer color develop gradually. Constantly switching from one treatment to another before giving the lawn enough time to respond usually creates confusion instead of improvement. Think about the money that saves. Instead of filling the garage with products that promise instant results, you're making careful decisions based on how your lawn actually responds. That approach reduces unnecessary spending while helping you build healthier grass season after season. Fixing today's lawn is a great start. The final step is learning how to create a lawn that's naturally stronger, naturally greener, and far less dependent on expensive products in the future. Bringing your lawn back to life is satisfying. Keeping it healthy year after year is where the real savings begin. That's the difference between constantly buying new products and building a lawn that naturally stays stronger. Every healthy lawn starts below the surface. Strong roots don't develop because of one treatment alone. They grow when the soil, moisture, sunlight, and mowing habits work together. Once those basics improve, your grass becomes far better at using the nutrients already available, reducing the need to reach for another bag of fertilizer every few weeks. One habit has a bigger impact than most homeowners realize. Cutting the grass too short may make the lawn look neat for a day or two, but it weakens the entire plant. Short grass develops shallower roots, loses moisture more quickly, and leaves bare spaces where weeds can easily take hold. Over time, that creates a cycle where the lawn becomes thinner while unwanted plants become stronger. Let your grass grow a little taller instead. Longer blades capture more sunlight, helping the plant produce the energy it needs to build deeper roots. Those stronger roots improve drought tolerance, absorb water more efficiently, and naturally crowd out many weeds before they have a chance to spread. Watering habits deserve the same attention. Frequent, shallow watering encourages weak surface roots. Deep watering less often trains the roots to grow downward in search of moisture, creating a tougher lawn that handles heat and dry weather much better. Consistency always beats quick fixes. Regular mowing, proper watering, healthy soil, and realistic expectations produce far better results than constantly changing products every time the lawn loses a little color. Experienced homeowners know that lasting improvement comes from steady care, not overnight miracles. Imagine looking across your yard a few months from now. Instead of thin patches, fading color, and another expensive shopping trip, you see thicker grass, stronger growth, and a lawn that needs fewer corrections because it's healthier from the ground up. That's the real goal, not replacing every lawn product, but creating conditions where your grass can perform at its best with less effort and less waste. Most homeowners make one simple mowing mistake that quietly weakens their lawn every single week. Fixing that habit can protect everything you've learned today. Watch the next video to discover the mowing technique that helps grass stay thicker, greener, and healthier throughout the growing season.